Welcome back everyone, Silvercon Trail here with more Resonant Rise. Last time we explored the Deep Dark and we looked at these quarries actually at the start of the episode. You can see how much more they've dug now, at least to a certain extent. You might be able to see how far down the mining bit on this quarry is. It's actually fairly deep right now. So pulling up a lot of good stuff, a lot of ores, good deep nether or good deep overworld ores. And yeah, lots of stuff. It is definitely a mess down here. With all this sludge right here, and then we've got some water. Yeah, it's a mess. It's a mess. And it's also really laggy. While I've been running these quarries, I've not been getting good frames very often. Although I'm getting a pretty solid 60 while I'm recording, so that's nice. As far as what we're going to do today, we've got a lot to talk about in regards to IndustrialCraft. And yeah, there's a lot to talk about with regard to that. IndustrialCraft is a huge mod with a lot going for it. And they've got a lot of changes recently too. It's been pretty much the same mod for a long time. GregTech's been usually the one putting in changes, but now they've decided to change some things up, and IC2 Experimental is definitely a different sort of mod. So let's go over here. Yeah, I got a lot less frames in here. I'm getting like maybe 30. Check that out. There's one of these guys stuck in here. Ow. Mana elemental. Some XP. It's Christmas time. Yeah, so we got chests that look like Christmas chests. Ow. There's some more in here. Kind of look that way. Woohoo, Christmas. Yeah. Unfortunately, Santa did not bring me any good stuff, but I did go out of my way to make my own good stuff, which is maybe more important. Let's go back here. I need to flip this off, probably. Yep. And then you see some liquid flowing through here. It's going to flow into this guy. These 4 machines, right here. These 4. And then to a certain extent, this one. This is actually an advanced. This is from Advanced Machines, which is an add-on to IndustrialCraft, so that's a little bit different. Let me put you down and see if I can get somewhere here to start kind of talking about these guys. I don't think I changed too much since the last time I did. I think in the last episode I talked about I expanded my assembler chamber down here. I don't know if I showed it. I made it 4x4x4, so there's more space to put patterns, so there's actually 4 pages. Check that out. I've got my thermal expansion stuff up here, mechanism stuff down here, IndustrialCraft stuff, lots of IndustrialCraft stuff, and then some MFR, some generic items, and then more generic items, and then applied energistics. So, pretty handy. And other than that, I don't think I changed any. Oh, check this out. The computer craft turtles. Oh, he becomes a mining elf. It's called a mining elf now. That's funny. Cool. Anyways, yeah, where were we? Okay. So, while I'm quarrying out all these items and trying to get all my item information sorted out and all these sorts of things, getting these deep storage units set up, I have been working on getting IndustrialCraft up to its basically final tier of technology. This is all to support, this is the scanner right here in the end, pattern storage, replicator, and the Mass Fabricator. The Mass Fabricator is an a really cool item. In previous versions of IndustrialCraft, you would use the Mass Fabricator to produce UU matter, which you could then craft into almost any vanilla item in the game, and especially you'd want to craft it into this guy right here, iridium ore, or iridium, which is an item that is extremely rare. It doesn't spawn in the overworld either at all, or it only spawns in the nether in this version. I don't know specifically for Resonant Rise what the configuration is set to. Last I knew it was set to only spawn in the nether. and it's very, very rare. Only maybe, I think, one or two per couple of chunks. Um, so very difficult to find, very difficult to get. I have quarried out a substantial amount, and I've only ever found two. And one of them, I've already fed to these machines, so that I could, I scanned it, so that I could basically replicate it, and that's what the replicator is for. So the replicator allows you to duplicate items, but to do that, you're going to need a recipe, you're going to need energy, and you're going to need UU matter, or UU liquid, or whatever the heck it's called now. Oh, I guess it is UU matter. So first we need the scanner, and the scanner allows you to scan certain items, and they get stored as patterns. And then you take those patterns and you put them in your pattern storage. So the only one I have is iridium ore, and that's really all I plan to use my Mass Fabricator for, is to make the iridium. So for me, there isn't really any more use to having the scanner here. I could probably move it and put other things here, put maybe the pattern storage somewhere else as well. Well, it does have to be next to the replicator. The replicator is the big workhorse. It's the one that takes the recipe or the pattern, and it then turns that into an item. But to do that, it's going to need UU matter and energy. The energy cost isn't really that steep. It's pretty easy to just get that energy. It's, I think for this one, 1 million EU. It's not really a lot. By the time that you're able to make these things, you're going to have 1 million EU pretty quick. What's going to be difficult is getting the UU matter, and that is made in the Mass Fabricator. The Mass Fabricator turns energy into UU matter, which is a sort of liquid. And if we flip this guy on, we can see it do its thing. And we can see its progress is 63%, 64%, 65%. You can also see it's eating through this scrap. Scrap is basically an amplifier. It makes the process run faster and more efficiently. And so it's going up a lot faster while it has the scrap in here. But as soon as it runs out, you'll see this stop going up as fast, and it will slow down dramatically. I think it's 6 times slower when you don't have scrap. I'm producing scrap in the compacting recycler. This just takes any item that I put into it and turns it into scrap. Pretty simple. So yeah, this is taking a lot longer now. If I turn this off, let's jump down here for a second. Let's look at my energy setup. Oop, I'm not full on energy, am I? I've been reprocessing a lot. I don't really need to because I've got more than enough of the yellow uranium, but I've been doing it that way anyways. So this is outputting over right now, over 6,000 redstone flux per tick, which is a lot. Yeah, that's more than enough to power my 2 quarries. You can see it going into the resonant ender cell. This is going to the quarries. Specifically, I mean, this thing's charging really quickly, but the second I turn that mass fab on, if I come over here and I flip it on, jump down here again, it's already drained all of the energy out. This thing is just a vacuum for energy. It will eat as much as you throw at it, to a certain extent. Oh, and there we go. So we've created some UU matter here, 1 millibucket. So if I flip the switch, it will import that into the replicator. The replicator will then process that. And it takes a little while to actually process the UU matter. For this item, to make it, I need 22 buckets. And this thing's producing 1 bucket at a time, so I have to run the process 22 times. And yeah, it's a pain. It takes a long time to do this. I haven't even completed 1 cycle yet since I set it up. So hopefully I'll be able to automate it better in the future. To do that, I really want a lot of scrap. I'm trying not to run it while I don't have scrap so I don't use up all my energy too quickly. But like right now it's not even recycling anything. I've got a lot of items coming in, but I'm not processing all of them. Lately I've been thinking about throwing my cobblestone in there, but I want to have enough cobblestone to do that, and my thinking in this way is to use igneous extruders. So igneous extruders, this is pulling them out rather slowly, isn't it? Yeah, this is pulling them out really slowly. I didn't realize how slowly this was going. Okay, let's talk about this setup over here, because this is kind of important going forward with the UU matter setup. These are igneous extruders. These are really handy early game thermal expansion items, or machines. You put lava in, you put water in, and then you can create cobblestone infinitely. So it's like a internal cobblestone generator. Or you can create stone, which uses up the lava, but you keep the water. Or obsidian, which uses up both the water and the lava. In which case you have to feed it both. But as long as you've got one bucket of lava, one bucket of water, you can infinitely produce cobblestone. It's not extremely fast, but it does its thing. I guess it isn't that bad. Could be a little faster. And then, yeah, these guys are just producing cobblestone, and what I've got here is a factorization router. The factorization router pulls items, extracts items, or inputs items, depending on what setting you have it on, from all adjacent inventories, including inventories attached to inventories that it's attached to. So as long as I've got an inventory here, one here, one here, one here, one here, here, I can pull items out of even this one into my router, and then they're getting exported via an impulse item duct into my tesseract. This is going over here, and then it's getting imported into my chest. So, and then that's going right into the ME system as a whole, and that's part of where I'm getting my cobblestone. Besides this line, which is another place where I'm getting cobblestone from. This is where all cobblestone, including the not biomes of plenty, but underground biomes, cobblestone is getting, I guess you could say, reprocessed into regular cobblestone. So even this andesite and this eclogite is being turned into compressed cobblestone, and then up here the compressed cobblestone is being turned into regular cobblestone and then imported back into the system and stored in a storage bus, whichever one it is. I don't know, one of those DSUs, which again holds like 2 billion items, so I'm not worried about it filling up. But what I'd like to do here, igneous extruders, I already made another 10 of them, is just keep making these so that eventually I can feed my, if I can get over this, eventually I can feed my recycler just off of these guys. That would be pretty cool if I could do that. Those sheep are loud. But these guys all need, they all need a bucket of lava. They all need a bunch of other things. It's my inventory. So I'm gonna fill these up and see if that makes it run any better. And then I might make a speed upgrade for this, because I don't think they're that hard to make. So I'll be back shortly. So I think one of the biggest causes of my lag and my frame rate issues might have actually been particles, because as I drop my particle level to decreased and so on, it drastically increases my frame rate by, I mean, probably easily like 10 frames each time. Like right now I'm getting a solid 30, and I was getting just 60 earlier. But before that I was getting maybe 40 with not recording, and I usually get upwards of 100. So yeah, definitely getting rid of particles is important, and the more of these I add, the more lag I'm creating in my world. So I definitely need to optimize these, and probably the easiest way to do that is actually going to be to just, see if we can go up here. Probably be to just grab some sandstone or something, and then try to block the faces of these guys. And I probably want to seal all of this away, kind of in its own tomb, I guess you could say, because exposing them, having the game try to render them is a bit of a pain, and that's definitely causing some issues. But yeah, as it stands, I've got 337,000 cobblestone, and I could send that all into my scrap. My recycler probably won't quite yet. We're gonna export some more fluid, get another bucket, but this process is definitely taking its time. But it's something I wanted to set up and have go, because I was using I wasn't using all of my reactor energy, as much of the energy that I could, and I really wanted to do that, so I'm probably going to load this up actually with yellow uranium now. Because I think it's about time I dumped another stack in there. And I have so much, really, that it's not a big deal at all. You know, I've got another... I still have over 3,000 of these ingots. I only went through one stack in the entirety of this playthrough that I've been on. I've gone through one stack. That's it. And it's especially helpful because you can reprocess it, of course. A neat trick I found out, and I don't know why it lags me so much when I look at these things, but if you use these to charge your IndustrialCraft stuff, like your jetpack, it charges them immediately. There's no wait time, it just charges them right away. So that's pretty handy. So these guys are all going to do their thing. They're going to get imported by the router. I did add a speed upgrade, but I don't know if it's really going that much faster. Like if I look at this far one over here, it sits at 64 for a bit. Whereas it's just not doing anything right now. That's like idle time. It could be producing another one. So I'm losing some efficiency there, but I think it's okay for now. Anyways, we need to move on from here. Getting the Mass Fab up, that was something that I wanted to do for a long time, and now that that's... Is this thing still running? It is, isn't it? Alright, now it's off. Now that that's done, basically, it's time to sort of move on from there, and I guess at this point I've kind of gone down the tech tree as much as I really want to. It's as it is right now, it's a matter of getting my iridium output, and then I have everything else to make all the things that I want to make. So going forward, I guess now is a great opportunity to start to get into the magic mods as well as bees, which I've been meaning to do in a big way. So that'll be kind of nice. Oh, the other thing I did, I forgot. I finally made one of these, Singularity. This requires 250,000 items to be put into a compressor, or what is it called? No, it's, what is it called? There it is, the ME condenser. Once you put 250,000 items in there, you get the Singularity. These are used to build the quantum... I'll just search applied energistics. Energistics. There we go. This is used to build the quantum link chamber. That's what it's called, the quantum link chamber. Well, I guess I should say it's not used to build it, but it's used to link quantum link chambers together. What this does is it lets you connect your applied energistics network between dimensions. It lets you sort of link them, through dimensions. It's a great way to describe it. I don't know why I tried to restate that. That's a perfect way to describe it. And that's pretty handy if you wanna get your access to your items while you're somewhere else in your world, or if you're in a different dimension. It's a great way to do that without running a ton of cable, and in some cases you can't run cable because it's in a different dimension. Okay. So the next question is, what magic mod do we want to go first? There's Thaumcraft, there's Ars Magica, there are a bunch of different mods. I kind of want to do Ars Magica because I've never done Ars Magica before. And it looks cool. Like, it looks just seriously cool. There's a lot of cool stuff in here. But I don't know where to start. I really don't. Spellbook? Can I make a spellbook? Should I make a spellbook? Can I have spells? Do I get mana? Magic wall. Look at all this. There's a lot of cool stuff in here. Okay, let's experiment a little bit with this, I guess. If I have leather... Do I have leather? I've got like one leather. I need to get all this junk out of my inventory. And get you out, get you out, get you out, get out, get out, get out, get out, and get out. And these buckets, keep them, get out, And maybe keep that. So I don't want to put that in there yet. Okay, so I want leather again. I only have like one leather in here though, so hopefully I have some more. Otherwise we'll have to go to the quiet forest, kill some deer. I kinda don't feel like doing that. But I don't have any. Alright, I'll gather some stuff and I'll be back. Alright guys, I changed my mind. I think I'm going to instead end the episode here with just one more note to make. When I originally did the router, I added a speed upgrade to it, and that allows it to have a little speed boost. There's no delay when it's visiting machines. It immediately goes to the next machine after it goes to one of them. But the upgrade I didn't add was called bandwidth, and that allows it to move stacks at a time. If you look at the upgrades that they have for factorization routers, or factorization machines in general, upgrade, like that. You can see it's got the, yeah, they are router upgrades. Well, there's a barrel upgrade. There's an item filter, machine filter, speed boost, thoroughness, bandwidth. The main ones you want, really, the speed boost and the bandwidth, and this allows you to really empty these guys out pretty much immediately. So they get emptied, the whole stack gets emptied. So there's no delay, the Ignis extruder can go as fast as it wants. And yeah, that's about it. I think I'm going to wrap things up here. If you have any questions about these machines, feel free to ask. This took me actually, I definitely had to look this up and figure out how to do it. If, you know, just as I guess a bit of review, put an item in here, put a crystal memory right in this slot. This thing will scan the item. You can put it and import it into your pattern storage. Stick your pattern storage block right next to your replicator. Use this to toggle onto the pattern you want to replicate. Fill it with UU matter somehow that you're generating via the Mass Fabricator. Use scrap if you want to make it go a little faster and a little bit more efficiently. And then give it this guy some energy itself, and it will run. So pretty simple, I guess, overall process once you kind of get what's going on. Just 4 different blocks to do it with to do one process. And for the most part, you want to use this for iridium. Not really a whole lot of purpose to use it for other things. And that's pretty much just because iridium's so hard to find. You know, this isn't really, in the past, these mass fabricators were diamond factories. Now they're really not. They're more iridium factories. And even then, they're really slow. At least so far of what I've messed with. And of course, the recycler. This is the compacting recycler. This is a step up from the regular recycler. You can make this if you have the Advanced Machines mod add-on. Otherwise, you can use a regular recycler. Just add some of these overclocker upgrades to it, and it'll speed it up to a rate that's, you know, understandable or usable, I guess you could say. Just take a little bit more energy. But yeah, anyways, that's it. Next time we will be doing Ars Magica. You may notice my UI is a little different. I kind of got ahead of myself, but I recorded that, so we'll talk about that next time. We'll do some cool enchanting and arcane things, and that'll be pretty fun. So, thank you for watching, and until next time then.